I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The clerk call the roll, please.
Mary Tisha Brown.
Here.
Mason.
Here.
Burris.
Here.
Corwin.
Here.
Johnson. Here. Peterson.
Here.
Yoder.
Where do we want to add that?
Under new business.
Okay.
The new downtown electrical service,
Okay.
and then there's one other thing. And then under that, under new business, blight cleanup opportunity.
Would you say new
Uh,
water service downtown?
electric service,
Electric service.
and then blight cleanup.
Yeah, you got that. All right. We will add an item, thank you, number 1 and 2 under new business, that being the new electric service downtown. That's the handout at your place tonight. And the number 2 item, the blight cleanup opportunity. Any other additions, corrections, or deletions to the agenda? Do we have a motion to approve as amended?
Motion to approve as amended.
Support.
Moved and supported to approve the agenda as amended. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Any public comment? Hearing none, we'll move along to the minutes of the March 15, 2016 meeting in your board packet. Any additions, corrections, or deletions to those minutes? Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Support?
Support.
Moved and supported to approve the minutes to the regular meeting March 15, 2016. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Bills for March are in your board packet. Any question on the bills?
On the one there, it says refund, right off the get-go, refunds and rebates to Republic. Refunds and rebates.
Well, they're for the trash bags, that we sell the trash bags.
Okay,
And
okay, all right.
We
Refund ourselves the money.
we
from
pay them for them
Yeah.
and we collect it from them.
Any other questions on the bills? Do you have a motion to approve those?
So moved. Support.
Moved and supported to approve the bills as presented. Is there any further discussion?
I'm just curious what the car repair was for. Item number 101-301-775.
What one's it under? Which line item? That'll probably help us.
Repair maintenance under police.
Well, they had a new battery put in the drill car, right? And oil changes on both of them.
Yeah. Regular service. Yeah.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. DPW report, we have it in your board packet. Any comment on your report, Jamie?
No.
Thank you for that report. Any police report?
No.
All right, thank you.
I didn't submit a written report just because, but I usually come in on Thursday and we had met that Tuesday, so there wasn't really not a whole lot of action in between that time. But since then, a few things have happened. Tonight we had a really productive DDA meeting, so they wanted to extend their thanks for endorsing the Taste of Mont Calm event. They're going to be going guns blazing to get that done. The date that they've decided to land on is June 25th, so for your guys' edification. We did a lot of research. We looked at every event, and I even asked David about a few that I might not know about, being a recent transplant to the community, working in the area. And we really found the date that will not step on anybody's toes. It's at least 1 week removed from everybody else's event, including some that are near but not in the county. So Cedar Springs, Rockford, Alma. So yeah, that's the date we're shooting for. It's 3 months from Friday. So yeah, it's gonna be a quick turnaround time. Tonight they separated into committees, and there's 4 committees that they're gonna be working with: facilities, so getting the site ready, everything we need in that sense, permitting, vendor committee, attracting beverage sponsors, food vendors, craft vendors, marketing and outreach, so getting the word out about the event and branding, those kinds of things, and then also volunteers, so, putting together a crop of volunteers. Our early estimates, if we do get the 25, if we hit the 25 food vendor limit and we have the average weekly patronage of a restaurant in Montcalm County based on the last date I could find, which is 2010, is 312.3 people per week. That's the average across all county, small restaurants, big restaurants. If all 25 of them are advertising for the event, we anticipate we could see up to 10,000 people. That's large from in and out of the county. So we're thinking at minimum for the one-day event, we're going to need probably 40 volunteers, and that's an early estimate. It may go up from there. So it's a pretty large undertaking if it goes the way we think it might. But Elizabeth and I are working on putting together action plans for each committee. We'll be meeting individually with each committee next week, and getting them talked through their action plan and figuring out what they need to cover as far as all the logistics. And it's going to be, basically we're putting together something in 3 months that we could probably take a year if we really wanted to.
I missed the wrong meeting, didn't I?
Yeah, a little bit. But you were volunteered for the volunteer committee.
I was just gonna say,
You're
where am I
working
needed
with-
volunteer?
you're working with
Okay.
Ginger, yep.
Okay.
Yep, so that was a
Whatever.
really productive meeting. We finalized that layout that you guys saw in the presentation. Obviously some things might change, but that's essentially the model that we're pursuing. So it was a very productive meeting. Other than that, we're finalizing our grant application to MDNR. I just talked with Doug today, messaged with him a little bit, and we're right on pace to get that in before the April 1 deadline. So I'll notify you guys when that happens. April 6th is when the bid deadlines are due for both the website and the appraisals that have been sent out to those firms. So our first meeting in April, you should be looking over bids for that. So, I think that's most of what I got. We're cooking right along. The DPW's been super busy. I've been very satisfied with them. I think Michigan Meter was in today working with Janet a little bit more and getting things finalized, and sounds as though we're kind of clear as mud, so to speak, and ready to try our software out and all that good stuff and see how it goes. Coming right along.
Any questions on Jake's
You-
report?
You probably saw it with the Daily News, Julie Stafford's got some kind of county-wide event going too.
Yeah, I'm not exactly clear on it, but I'm going to be speaking with the Daily News next week concerning this event, trying to get a write-up going and everything like that. So, I think Stafford Publishing is going to be taking a pretty big stance on community and stuff in the coming year. They did a lot of, they're trying to do more and more of those write-up series, like they did the 12 manufacturers, and then they did This is High School and things like that. So they're trying to start to do more features that are related to the entire county, and I think trying to move away from that 90% Greenville sort of coverage model. So, and that's not an insult to them. I think it's just there's more and more going on in the county as we see some economic recovery, we see some new innovative education components coming in. So I think there's just more to cover, and they're trying to do that equitably. So.
Any other questions? Thank you for your report. Move along to the first item under new business, the new electrical service downtown.
So you have a letter in front of you, you all should anyway, from Damon Davis, who's the chairman of the Stanton Old Fashioned Days Board this year. This is something that Commissioner Burris put a lot of work into last year, and we worked together a little bit. We got one service put in, and basically they're asking for the next one. So these are electrical services put in public space. They're going to be useful for us, not only for Old Fashioned Days, but Old Fashioned Days are the ones that are asking for them, because it's going to really alleviate a lot of their logistical issues. This one, they're asking to be put in the 100 block of, it says South Cameron, but yeah, that would be right, South Cameron Street, so right a block up from here. Basically, I think the place we've been looking at is that raised parking lot, the wall right there on Cameron Street, across from the Hotel Montcalm. We'd like to put, probably a decent sized service in right there. And I think that would be a really good way for the city to not only partner with Old Fashioned Days, but also increase our downtown capacity, because it is nice to have public utility available right there. So basically what they're asking for is that we put in a new metered electrical service right there and work with consumers to get that done.
No, the other one that was put in, I guess I didn't didn't really pay attention, but is that kept secured when it's not in use for something sanctioned?
Yeah, it's on Chemical Banks building, they actually allowed us to put it on there, and the city just ran the infrastructure, and they let us hook up to their meter, so they pay for the electricity when it's used, which is really nice of them. This one, yeah, it would be secured with a lockbox,
Okay.
and the DPW would open it up.
Okay.
So, yeah, so basically, the costs, so had some estimates last year, some bids, and I was trying to remember, I think Tim Scott was the cheapest bid, if I remember right, but might be wrong.
Oh, I got all the papers.
But none of it exceeded, I think.
I figure I'm going over it with you again on Thursday.
Yeah, and I don't think any of the bids exceeded like $3,000, I think they were less, but I'm
I
trying
don't
to.
remember
Yeah.
offhand.
Yeah, I probably should have looked at those, but I know that there was somewhere to the tune of under $3,500. So I think it's something we should do, and I think it's going to be useful for us regardless in the event that we do have other, public events outside where we could use electricity. We don't have to rely on a business to donate it or, run a generator, those kinds of things. But yeah, they're asking that we install a service right there.
Are you looking for action on this tonight, or do you want to look at the bids, or do you want to do a lowest bid not to exceed
I think
$500?
I think maybe endorsing the installation and maybe giving a not to exceed price,
Okay.
just to be safe, probably 5,000, but I know it's gonna be less than
Okay.
that. And then making sure, putting in the motion that we get fresh bids, no less than 3 bids. And
Okay.
so that way you just give me the authority, I can go get bids and give them to you, but we kind of circumvent them having to go through
Okay.
another motion.
Okay.
You just put in the motion that we have to get bids, that they don't exceed a certain price and that you're okay with it.
And to proceed with it,
Yeah.
not to exceed 5,000. Do we have a motion?
I move the city install electrical service on 100 South Cambridge Street, asking for bids not to exceed $5,000.
Support.
Moved and supported to install the electrical service in the 100 block of South Canburn Street to secure no fewer than 3 bids and proceed at a cost not to exceed $5,000. Is there any further discussion?
I know this wasn't, typically we have a little bit more prep work here with the letter, was sort of shorthand, and then we kind of got it in, but I'm going to their meeting on Monday, and I'd like to be able to tell them that it's something we want to do. I mean, technically, it's within the discretionary spending of my office, where I could have just done it, but I think it would show good faith to old-fashioned days if we say, the commission got behind this, and this is something we want to do to help, so, that's my last little bit there.
Any further discussion?
I think that's my biggest concern, just as I feel like we do this a lot, where we add things, but they're not, I would like to be able to look at bids, and I'm not in favor of this, but I just feel like it's almost a backwards way of
Right.
doing things.
Yeah, I think that's completely understandable. The caveat giving me a price limit is probably, and if you don't support the price limit, then we can talk about that too. But I understand
I think this is a good cause, I just feel like we've gotten into a bad habit of doing things this way where we add things and we're not fully prepared and then we vote on them and.
Okay, well, that's good to take into account on my end. Thank you.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Light cleanup opportunity.
Yep, so this is something that a local resident has basically come to us with concerns about the amount of blight, but specifically junk in people's yards. So, old appliances, construction materials, flat out garbage in some cases, brush, tree limbs, just stuff that is aesthetically displeasing. And they basically volunteered. They said that they have a loader and a dump truck and 4 guys that are willing to help them. They're giving us basically a one-time opportunity where we can, and we're already, I think recently, the police department wrote 12 warning letters. Some of those were for a little bit more substantive blight, not necessarily just junk. spring cleanup day is, I think, May, is that right?
7th or something?
Yeah, May 7th, yeah, something like that. What they're essentially proposing is that if we basically go around, Chief Patino and I go around and survey the neighborhoods and find each address that's in violation of the ordinance, the junk provision in the ordinance, and write them all a letter basically saying, if, you're in violation of this ordinance, which I'd like to do anyway, we have this one-time opportunity where if you put this out at the curb before this date, we have a volunteer that's gonna come pick it up. We would stockpile it down at the DPW building until cleanup day, and we would put it in the dumpster. We're gonna stress that it's a one-time opportunity, and we're basically gonna say, if you don't do this by this date, we're gonna write you anyway, because you're still in violation of the ordinance. So basically, this is cool because this is something that I wanted to do come spring, is basically start taking people to task a little bit, for lack of a better term, on the junk that's allowed to accumulate in yards. I feel as though the city has been maybe a little too lenient on that in the past, and it's something that, it's not anybody's fault, it's just something that I think will improve the quality of life for residents. So this is an opportunity to allow us to give these people an option where we don't potentially write them a ticket. And a lot of these people may not necessarily have a pickup truck or the means to hire somebody to take these things away, or even any way to get it down to the dumpster day when the time comes. So if all they really have to do here is get it out to their curb, and this volunteer who would like to remain anonymous will do the rest. So it is out, just for your own edification, it is a city resident. It's somebody who has approached us and wants to do a public service and be proactive and help us out. So what they want is they want us to go on record in a motion, you guys endorsing this. Just to give you an idea of the process, basically what we're going to do is we're going to tell people, we're going to cite specifically that they're in violation of this provision of the ordinance. We'll take photos of what on the property is the problem, or at least write a list of things that are plainly visible that are the problem. From there, we'll say, by this date you have to have it out at the curb. If not, you have 10 days to clean it up from that date, otherwise we're going to write you a ticket. And that'll be that, more or less. So that's the system that we have in mind. Yeah.
What's the action you're looking for then?
So we would just want a motion endorsing this one-time program for blight remediation. And we're going to be stressing in the letter that this is a one-time thing, because what we don't want to do is create a culture in town where people are like, well, I can just stockpile all this junk because there'll be someone who'll come take it away from me once a year. We're going to stress in the letter that this is a one-time opportunity. This isn't something that's going to be a regular program, to make sure that we don't, foster that sensibility that this is something people can just do all the time.
What's our liability connected with having a resident?
There's
Basically, it's not a city service because we don't do that, but
Yeah.
quasi-city service.
I looked at that a little bit, and you're right, it's a we're only quasi-involved,
Mhm.
because all we're doing is notifying people that they put this stuff out at the curb this date, there's a volunteer that's gonna come around and take it.
Okay.
So basically if they willingly put it out at the curb, the things that are clearly identified, and that's why we wanna clearly identify the stuff in the letter, because somebody potentially could
Clean out their basement.
clean out their whole basement, or conversely, someone could clean out their basement and then come up here or go to this person and say, hey, you took stuff I didn't want you to take, you stole that. So that's why we need to clearly delineate the items that are the violation items, and say, and then it's gonna take a lot of communication with this person to say, these are the things at this address that you can take, don't take anything else, because you're opening yourself up, not really us, but them, up to some liability issues. But, it's a public service. I'd like to find, that this person's trying to do, I'd like to find a way to make it work. It's just gonna take some solid communication and record keeping to show that we, in good faith, gave these people this opportunity.
And what about our liability for that person when they get hurt lifting a
I think
refrigerator in the back of
at
their
the end of the day, they're entering into an agreement with that person between them. That's really what's happening. We're just saying, if you put this stuff out here, there's a volunteer that will take it for you. But we're not employing them, we're not, they're not doing it on our directive. They basically said they're gonna go do this, will we let people know?
And we're gonna pass that information along to the volunteer that we're telling people,
Yep.
this is not something we're
And,
doing, we understand somebody's volunteering to help you out, basically.
I spoke to the volunteer today, and I said, we may have to figure out some kind of waiver form, but,
I think that'd be advisable.
yeah, and I think he's more than willing to do that, just basically saying, yeah, I'm doing this on my own volition, and, hold the city harmless.
It's certainly admirable, but
Yeah,
we don't
yeah,
wanna get into a
and
situation where
we
he
covered all those
hurts his
things.
back or whatever.
Yeah, we've covered all those things today, and, and I have an email out to Jeff Sluggett, asking, is there anything I should really be wary of? But I looked into This happens more often in bigger municipalities, but it's fairly common, which I was surprised by. But yeah, they have, it's just the same as doing like a community cleanup day. The city sponsored a community cleanup where we went around and like led volunteers to pick up garbage. Like, we're not any more liable for that than we would be for this. It's just a matter of, and we're actually more liable for that than we would be for this, so. But yeah, pending a liability waiver, I think that's probably the biggest thing that we need to put into perspective. But this person's trying to do a good deed. Yes, sir.
I would strongly suggest a liability waiver, and it might be wise to check with our insurance company to see on a broader scale what coverage we do have for volunteers.
Okay.
I ran into that in another venue that, there was a question as to if we have volunteers doing certain things for the village or the city that, would the corporation be liable or not?
Mhm.
And, it would vary from policy to policy, I'm sure, but
And depending on what they're doing.
I would check with the insurance company just so that we know for other activities as well.
Sure, yeah, that's a good idea. And, I think, more than likely Jeff Sluggott's probably gonna say the exact same thing now that I think about it. Yeah, no, I think that's wise. So, there's not a huge timeline on this. Chief and I are gonna meet on Thursday, and drive around and find all the addresses and all the items that need to be documented. We need to do that one way or the other, because even if this, say, heaven forbid, didn't work out, we still need to write letters to these people and let them know. So that'll go on as planned. What I would recommend then is that at your next meeting, after I've had the opportunity to hear back from Jeff and talk to the insurance company and make sure that we're in the clear with everything, then maybe endorse it.
Okay, so just table this.
Yeah, table it, I just put it on the agenda for next meeting. But I just wanted to open it up tonight as,
Good.
this is the opportunity that we have, and it's a good thing this person's doing. So.
Any information or public comment?
I have a question
Yes.
about the street sweeper that's gonna be coming through. Is that only gonna be on the main streets, or are you gonna do side streets with that? Or how does that work?
I think we typically do majors and locals, I thought.
Just downtown area, that.
Yeah,
we don't get too far.
not into the residential districts too much, but we do the side of like the commercial area. And like, I know I've seen it go down Cameron, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if it was just Wheeling.
Just a couple blocks. I
Just
think,
go
a lot.
on.
Okay, yeah.
Probably where there's primarily curbing and stuff. I mean, you
Yeah,
get down to
curbing,
the
yeah.
residential and you've got grass right out to the road, that'd be
Mhm.
a little difficult to
Yeah.
not pick up too much junk at the edge of the road. I would
Well, and I
say.
think it messes up grass and stuff.
Yeah.
They're kind of designed to do curb and gutter
Yep.
streets,
Right.
so, yeah.
I'm pretty sure they've gone down Walnut before, though.
Well, I know I've seen them at least, like, positioning
Probably circle
themselves
back
down in
around.
this area. I don't know if they're just like going to the other end of the street so they can get on the other side or what, but I know I've seen them around here.
They try to get the first streets back, they, back from Maine, Brooklyn,
Yeah.
so. Walk back.
'Cause it's a terrifying thing at 3:30 in the morning.
Oh,
Any other public comments? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Support.
Moved and supported to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Thank you for coming. When are you wanting to meet? Is it just Ginger and I on the volunteer committee?
Take care.
basically Elizabeth and I are helping every committee, but yes, we basically, I call it a committee, but we really split the entity person.
Okay.
Ryan Belay is, I'm hoping he'll help the facilities guys, because they're gonna be the ones that take care of all the permitting and stuff.
Computer, yeah.
So we'll have to see,
Yeah.
but he's the only one that I didn't
Apple.
find one for. Basically, everybody there volunteered for one that I was hoping they would, and then I just volunteered to work at it.
Yeah, that's fine. Wherever it's needed, we'll do it.
So then I think, yeah, Ryan's the only one where I'm not quite certain yet, he wasn't there.
He's on assignment.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Oh, cool, that's nice. Yeah, so when he gets back, I'll speak with him, but yeah, I'll set up a time next week that works with you and
Okay.
Ginger, and we'll either have you here, or we'll meet you guys somewhere, and talk about, because yeah, volunteers are gonna be crucial for it,
You think about 40?
probably, at least, probably,
Okay.
Suppose over 50 if we can make it happen. Oh,
Yeah.
I should have.
Get a lot of volunteers.
I should have told people about the garden club, but I forgot.
Jake.
Saturday the 2nd, there's the garden club that you guys endorsed previously is going to be starting their work on the flower boxes. 8 a.m. they're meeting in the Chemical Bank parking lot. and then organize it from there. We have 20 plus or minus youth group members, and then 3 to 5 community service people, and then my wife and I will be there, and I think 8 to 10 people from the garden club.
Can you throw it on Facebook?
Yeah, we're gonna put it on our Facebook page. We have an administrative meeting next week on the 29th, and then, yeah, we'll shoot for the 2nd, so. I should have put that, like I said, we hadn't settled all that by the time this agenda was put together, so.
Alrighty. Hey, the storm comes after you're having to travel late for meetings anyway, huh?
Yeah, it seems like the snow might miss us now, which is.
Yeah, I know. It sounds like it's
Originally, it
gonna
was
just
looking like it
be
was.
rain, maybe a little bit of ice,
Yeah.
but not nearly as bad as they were threatening.
Yeah.
10 or
Sounds pretty
18 or
ominous.
how many ever ridiculous inches.
Yeah. I will be at your Old Fashioned Days meeting on Monday.
Yeah, I meant to go last week when I said it was this week. We're thinking it was this week.
Well, it's good, because I would have known it this week.
See you guys.
And,
See you guys.
Have a good night.
Dance festival, I think, yesterday too.
Oh,
Yeah, you have a problem with it earlier?
Yeah, the computer needs
I wanna-
a rubbing chair.
What did you do?
Well, it's got an
Oh.
update.
Oh, crap.
You're not innocent, you must mind it sometime.
I did that on purpose.
I know what you've been doing.
What's your which stamp commission number are you, do you remember offhand?
I don't know what it is, I'm 5.
I'm 7.
All right, Larry, I'm keeping your iPad. You'll get it back before the next meeting.
Doesn't sound
We should start doing house calls.
It's been complicated.
Careful what you look for on
What time
there.
do you guys open up on Saturday? The bank? 9?
9.
Okay, yeah, we'll be out of the way by then. We're just using your parking lot to stage, and then
Yeah, that's fine.
I didn't talk to anybody except figured you wouldn't be open by then.
Well, the employees get in there earlier than that.
Okay, yeah, I'll make sure if I need to.
Pushing in yet?